Listen, it's okay if you still fly economy. It really is. Recently, I booked a flight to Paris where the economy seat for one way was 17,000 miles, and to upgrade to premium economy, not even business class, premium economy, was over 200,000 miles. I'm not joking. So I was like, okay, economy it is, no problem. And honestly, I think videos like this are really important because most people aren't flying business class for every single trip, and that's okay. And if you go on Amazon and type in flight pillows, a whole bunch of accessories and gadgets will pop up that will make your time in economy a little bit more comfortable and a little bit more enjoyable. The best seat in economy will be different for every person. I personally love window seats, so ideally I'm always going to choose a window seat because one, I like to look out of the window and look at what I'm seeing as we're flying, and then two, it's easier for me to take a nap to lean my head against the plane. You might be a 50-year-old with a weak bladder who needs to access the bathrooms frequently throughout the flight, so an aisle seat is always going to be your best bet. It all depends. It's also important to look at the type of aircraft you will be flying. For longer flights, you might be on an Airbus A350 or an Airbus A330 or a Boeing 777, I think that's how you say it, just to name a few. Today, we'll be talking about Air France specifically. There are 4 different options for seat selections in economy on Air France. They are duo seats, front selection seats, standard seats, and extra legroom seats. Duo seats are $48.90 per person. Front section seats are $43.50 per person. Extra legroom seats are $48.90 per person. And standard seats are $32.60 per person. The price also varies by flight, so you might see different prices on the flight that you're on. With front selection seats, you're sitting at the very front section of economy, which I would really only book if getting off the plane immediately is important to you. But let's be honest, still, you're in economy, so you're sitting behind business class and premium economy, which is going to take you some time anyway. I feel like this seat upgrade is a bit of a false sense of control, and to me it's a bit crazy that front selection seats end at row 26 and standard seats begin at row 27 for $10 less, so you can be sitting here for an extra $10 or literally right here for $10 less. But now that I'm thinking about it, most people are not going to want to pay an extra $43.50 to sit in front selection in economy, so this might be your best bet if you're looking for a flight where you're not going to be sitting next to someone or have the best chance of not sitting next to someone, because most people are going to opt to sit in standard economy anyway or the standard selection anyway because it's cheaper, and front selection seats aren't really front selection because you're not really in the front. Next, duo seats are one of the most expensive seat upgrades in economy, sitting at $48.90 per person. Duo seats are the only seats in economy where you'll be sitting next to one other person besides extra legroom seats. Kind of gives like a premium economy feel to it. Only downside to duo seats are that you're literally sitting in the last row of the plane. Sitting at the back of the plane in the last row obviously means when it's time to get off the plane, you're going to be sitting for a while. And honestly, after a long 7-8 hour flight, you might want to get off as quickly as possible. But honestly, I can't imagine it slowing you down more than 10 minutes versus if you were sitting in like row 27. I also think duo seats give you like the best chance of not sitting next to someone if you are flying alone, because who wants to sit at the back of the plane and then pay $50 to have to do so? And if you are flying with one other person, this gives you the best sense of privacy because you won't be sitting next to another stranger. And by the way, there are only 4 duo seats on each plane. That's pretty standard. There might be, one exception, but usually there's only 4 duo seats on each plane. Next, we have extra legroom seats, which are also $48.90 per person. Extra legroom seats really do give you extra legroom, and you're free to stretch your legs out as far as you can. There are only 6 of these seats available on each flight, as majority of the seats have passengers sitting in front of them. What I really like about these seats are they're right next to the bathroom, so on longer flights you really get the best of both worlds of having extra legroom and easy access to the bathrooms. There are also 2 rows of extra legroom seats that only hold 2 passengers, so it's the exact same concept as duo seats except with extra legroom, and you're not so far back in the plane. The only downside to the extra legroom seats that only hold 2 passengers are that there are no window seats. So if you're someone who likes a window seat like me, you're not going to be able to look at anything, and that's kind of the only thing. And also, there's nothing for you to lean your head on either if you're wanting to take a nap or go to bed during your flight. Honestly, depending on your flight, if you're flying at night or if you know you're going to be asleep, that might not be a bad thing because there might not be anything to look at in the first place. The extra legroom seats are also located in the exit row, which means you have to be willing to help the flight attendants and flight crew in the event of an emergency. Children under the age of 12 pregnant passengers, passengers using an extension belt, and service animals are not allowed to sit in the exit row. The last and most underwhelming seats in economy are standard seats, which are sitting at a whopping $32.60 per person, which is, by the way, on top of what you already paid for the flight ticket. Standard seats take up row 27 all the way to row 44 and offer no special amenities or perks. It's the standard 3 seats in a row with limited recline, and you'll almost certainly have a neighbor. I'm actually in a Facebook group, and someone just posted that they had a flight to Paris, and upon checking in, KLM or Air France offered them an upgrade to sit in business class for only $114, and I most certainly can only hope and pray that I get that same offer. I'm not sure if maybe just because business class was pretty much empty or there weren't a lot of people on the plane, but either way, that's an amazing deal, and that's one that I could, again, only hope to get. I'm also not sure if they were sitting in premium economy or regular economy to get this offer, but either way, that's a great deal. Flying in economy is obviously not as nice as flying business class, but it's also not the nightmare that I think people make it out to be, especially if you go on Amazon and find yourself some gadgets that are going to make your flight a little bit more comfortable and a little bit more enjoyable. I think, you know, for an extra $100 round trip, for some extra legroom, or to only have one neighbor, you're gonna make out just fine. I hope you have safe travels. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.